Hi, my name is Alyssa Halderman, and I am a Grand Canyon University Special Education Master's Program student, and I am doing the IEP process evaluation for SPD 500. So the IEP process usually starts with the parents, and the parents are one of the most important parts of an IEP process because a parent is going to know their child. They're going to know exactly how well their child learns, if they're struggling with a subject, if they're showing signs of having issues of not understanding stuff or not being able to focus. So a parent is going to be one of the strongest advocates for their child. The child is also an actual large portion of the IEP process. When the child is old enough to understand kind of what's going on and how the process is working, it's best to have them involved so that they can learn to self-advocate for themselves and understand exactly what services they need, how the process works, when they need to ask for help, when they believe that they need to move forward in a process. And the process always starts with the referral. And now parents and or teachers can make a referral. Once the referral is submitted, it must be done so in writing. Parents should sign and date it because within 15 days of the referral being submitted, the evaluation process should be started. The evaluation process entails a school psychologist or a diagnostician to come in and evaluate the child using assessment tools, surveys, different things to understand the child's background. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What is the family background, health-wise, to take all these things and put them together to create the evaluation and understand what diagnosis would fit the child the best. Once they have the evaluation completed, then the IEP team comes together, which consists of the special education teacher, the parents, a school administrator, behavioral specialist, any other people that they believe is going to make the strongest team to be able to advocate for the child. And this is usually done at the school or at the school board. Once they have the evaluation and they determine, they sit down and they review the results and they determine what services are going to be the best for the child. They're also going to figure out exactly which category of the IDEA Act that the child fits into. And this would be, if it's dyslexia, they would be listed under learning disabled. If they have ADHD, it would be considered an other health impaired. Now, the components of an IEP are sometimes hard to understand because it's a lot of acronyms, but once you start seeing the process and going through it, it actually gets a lot less overwhelming. So you have FAPE, which is our free appropriate public education. That means you don't pay for any of the services that your child will receive under the FAPE. And then you have your least restrictive environment, which is special education students are placed in general education classrooms as much as possible so that they're with other peers. You have your referral process, which we discussed, your evaluation process and the eligibility. And then you come down to your IEP components, which guides parents and educators on services and support for the student. Parent and student involvement is extremely important. You want to make sure that each person is always speaking up and stating what they believe is best for the child, what the child believes is best for themselves, but also what teachers are seeing within the classroom and what parents are seeing at home. You want to make sure that you have your quarterly progress monitoring, which is you're monitoring your students' goals at least 4 times a year. And then you have your annual review process, which is done once a year, where they go and they review your IEP. They see what goals you've met, what goals you need to work on, what strengths you have, and what weaknesses that need to be worked on to make sure that you're reaching your IEP goals. You also want to make sure that your procedural safeguards are in place, and parents have a right to attend any meetings that is regarding their child. They have access to all records regarding their child's disability and diagnosis. And they also have a right to obtain a IEE or an independent educational evaluation for their student if they feel that their student was not diagnosed correctly or is not getting the care that they should be. You want to make sure that you are set for an IEP meeting, that you're getting prior written notice, which makes sure that any educational plans or a denial of any services that have been requested is given to you prior to the meetings. You also have your related services, and that would be speech therapy, occupational therapy. You have your linguistics for children that have ADHD, which is working on their vowel sounds, their consonant sounds, how they write words out, how they see words. And you want to make sure that all of this stuff is done to make sure that what is being done for the student is always the best. Thank you.